Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time here, you are very welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with us how to cut a dartless pencil skirt. This is a long pencil skirt that is about ankle length. So if you're like me and you're tired or probably lazy of stitching down that onto your skirt, or maybe you're not like me but you're interested in learning how to cut a dartless pencil skirt, then by all means keep on watching and let us head straight into this tutorial. Right here guys, I have my fabric that I'm going to be using for the front part of this my skirt, and as you can see I already drew out some lines and I'm going to be explaining how I cut this line. So from my waistline, which is my starting line, I marked the distance from my waist to my hips, which is 10 inches. I also marked the distance from my waist to my knee, which is 20 inches. And finally I have the length of my skirt, which is 40 inches, and extra 3 inches for hemming allowance. So what I did next is I came to this my waistline and I marked a quarter of my waist measurement, which is 7.75 inches, and I added 3 inches for seam allowance. I didn't add any dart allowance to this because this is a dartless skirt. Next I marked a quarter of my hip measurement and I added my seam allowance of 3 inches. So I'd like to advise that when you're folding your fabric for your pencil skirt, you fold it using your biggest measurement, and in most cases it's usually the hips, except you have a situation where the waist measurement is bigger than that of the hips. So you fold it by your hips measurement divided by 4 plus the seam allowance that you love to use and sew your skirt, and this way it will help us manage fabric and will not be wasting any fabric. If you look closely, you see that my measurement stops exactly at the end of this fabric. So for my knee, I am going to be subtracting 1.5 inches from what I have there on my hips measurement. So my hips measurement divided by 2 is 10.25. I am going to be subtracting 1.5 inches. You can decide to subtract 2 inches or 1 inch or 1.5 inches. This depends on how pencil you want your pencil skirt to be. So what I did is I marked that down and I added my 3 inches for seam allowance. On the length line, which is basically my ankle, I am going to be subtracting 1.5 inches from the measurement that I have on my knee, and I'll mark it down and add extra 3 inches. You can decide to subtract 2 inches from this measurement. Again, this is dependent on how pencil you want your pencil skirt to be. So I'm going to be connecting my waist to my hips using the curved part of my ruler. Please ignore that first line. I made a mistake. Okay, I don't know why I like making that mistake. So I am going to be using like the straight part of my ruler to connect the rest of the marks. Now that I'm done connecting, what I'm basically going to do is grab my scissors and cut around these areas. But before I cut, I would like to fold in my allowance like this, and then I will use my scissors to cut. And this is what we have after cutting. So the last thing I'm going to do is subtract my waistband from this my skirt measurement. I forgot to do it earlier when I was marking. So I'm going to be using a waistband of 1.5 inches. But I won't be subtracting 1.5 inches. I'll be subtracting only 1 inch. So that extra half inch will be like seam allowance for me to join the skirt to the waistband. I hope this is clear. I'm going to keep this away and we'll cut out the back of this our skirt. And right here, I have cut out a separate fabric which I'll be using for the back of this my skirt, and right here I marked out a line that is about 1 inch, okay, and that is for my zipper allowance. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay the front onto the back pattern. Okay, I am going to make sure that the center front of this my pencil skirt is on that line, that zipper allowance line, and basically what I'm trying to do is extend that hip line onto the back of this my skirt pattern. I'll do the same thing for the knee and also for the length line, which is also my ankle line. I need you to pay a very close attention to this part. So because we are creating a dartless pencil skirt, we have to create a dart-like situation, and in order to do this, I'll be eliminating the zipper allowance on the waist part of this my skirt. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be connecting my hip, okay, the 1 inch zipper allowance on my hip on the center back down to my waistline. Can you see the way I connected it? I eliminated the zipper allowance that's supposed to be on the center back of this our skirt pattern, and I am going to be replacing it on the side Okay, do you understand what I did there? I removed the zipper allowance from the waist on the center back and I replaced it at the side. So this is what is going to help our skirt still fit and give us that fit that a dart would give to us. I hope this is clear. If it is not clear, I would like you to pause this and probably rewatch it. So guys, at this juncture our pencil skirt is ready. You can decide to leave it like this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to be dividing that zipper allowance by 2. You know, I had 1 inch for my zipper allowance. I'll be dividing it by 2, and that is half an inch. I'll mark it on my knee line and on my ankle line. So I'll be connecting these marks together all the way to the hips. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be marking the other half an inch on the side part of this my skirt. I know that there's a lot of calculation and a lot of mechanic work going on, but I need you to just kind of pay close attention, go back and rewatch this video, and if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. So basically I am marking the remaining half of that my 1 inch on the side of this my skirt, on the knee line and also on the ankle line, and like I did for the center back, I'll be connecting it all the way to meet my hip line. After connecting, I'll grab my scissors and I'll cut out this my skirt. I'll make sure you remember to fold in your hem allowance inside when you're cutting this out. So guys, this is another method that you can use to cut your pencil skirt, and you will not have to worry about sewing in your darts, because I feel like sewing darts can be quite stressful. I am a lazy person, so ever since I discovered this method, I have been using it, and I think it's very easy, especially when you're trying to sew corset dresses and you don't want darts in the way. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be notching my zipper allowance side, because both sides are curved now, so that I will not be confused. So guys, thank you for watching up until this point. Let me know in the comment section what are your thoughts on this dartless pencil skirt method, and let me know if you're going to be trying this out or if you're going to be sticking to your good old ways of stitching down your darts. And I am going to be dropping a tutorial on how to sew this dartless pencil skirt with lining. It's going to be fully lined, and we are going to be attaching a waistband to this, so I'm going to be showing you the entire process. I don't want to add this here so that the video will not be too long. And please hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to this family. Give this video a thumbs up so that more people can get to see it. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.